What a great... Okay, I honestly, I'm reacting to this live. Let's try to pull this up here. So, wow. The Leafs get O'Reilly and Acciari. Man, I love this Acciari pickup, for one. This is just so much. The Leafs, this is crazy, man. A first, a second, third, and also a fourth to Minnesota. Like, Dubas is just going all in. I would have to hope O'Reilly's coming with an extension here. Like, that's still my hope. Or not, maybe not an extension, but like willingness to re-sign. But honestly, guys, I'm about to post my reaction. This is nuts. Like, I don't even know what happened here. Like, Kyle Dubas, this is friggin' like the Panthers Kachuk trade. Like, late on a Friday night. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, absolutely crazy. Like, what is... Dubas, bro. I'll answer any questions in the chat. I do think the Leafs gave up like too much here. Like, it's just, you have to look at the depth chart here. I'm gonna pull it up right away. To me, on the surface here, like, this is again, this is a team that can go far. And on paper, like, take out the Leafs curse, take out anything the Leafs have on them. On paper, say they swap jerseys with a different team. Now with O'Reilly and Acciari in the picture, this is a crazy conversation. Like, out loud, this is just what I'm thinking. Like, so you have left wing, Bunting, obviously with, we'll just say Matthews, Nylander for now. Then Marner, Tavares, Nylander, Tavares, Marner with Matthews. You stick Yarncrow in there, and then you could have O'Reilly as the center on the third line. And then you go for one more guy. So I thought they were actually going to go for Barbashev in this trade, but clearly the Blues believe that they can get a lot more for Barbashev. So in my eyes, Acciari and Camp for your two guys on the fourth line with potentially Aston Reese. If you have a fourth line of Aston Reese, Kampf, and Acciari, if that's the case, I just wonder what their situation here is with Engvall and Kerfoot. So if Engvall and Kerfoot stay, they're potentially on the third line with O'Reilly, and then if Matt Nyes comes, then they have to decide after. So if Kerfoot and Engvall are on the third line with O'Reilly, I don't love that. I really don't. I still think that they need to get another guy. But this is tough. This is tough. I feel like the whole time we've talked about the Foligno curse and all these things, and it's like, this is the trade that can backfire on you so heavy, especially if O'Reilly leaves, man. If this is for a rental, this is crazy to give up. That's how I feel. I'm so excited for the addition. I want to see O'Reilly with Toronto. If he stays healthy, if he can produce and just play that shutdown role, I love this addition. It's just so much. So I'm mixed, guys. I'm honestly mixed. I don't think that's like, is that I'll pull it up on the screen right now, guys. I don't think, maybe a lot of you disagree with me, but I don't think it's like a bad thing to feel this way. I mean, Leaf fans have been through some trauma here. Like, be hyped about the addition, but also have, like, I'm such a pessimist sometimes, and I'm just thinking, like, this is so much to give up, man. But Adam Gaudette, let's see if the Blues give him a shot. Oh, frig, man. This is crazy. Any questions in the chat, I'll answer. Oh, my. Did I upload my video? I was trying to post a reaction video. Avi with the 2 says, NHL so fire. Kane find a team. Sabres be lit. Imagine the Leafs still go out and get a Patty Kane. I think that's toast now. I think this probably shuts down the Leafs getting Patty Kane. But I still think the Leafs should go after a third liner. Acciari's not that third liner for me. So if O'Reilly is the addition, yeah, I can, buddy. I've seen Dubas give it up for a rental, man. The Foligno, bro. The Foligno trade, man. Wow, guys. Okay, we'll throw it in the chat right now. Let's get the review from the chat. Ryan O'Reilly, Noah Acciari to the Toronto Maple Leafs. The first, the second, the third, even the fourth to retain from the Wild. So they get 25% from the Wild, 50%. The Leafs create so much space without even giving up roster players here. Obviously, the LTIR comes. So W or L in the chat for the Leafs. I think Blues fans are going to be extremely happy with this return. They should be, at least. I think the Blues fans should be extremely happy. Leafs, though. Leafs perspective specifically, W or L. I would severely disagree with someone if they said L for the Blues, man. This is such a W for the Blues in their perspective. Even with, and I'll say this, the Blues have stringed a couple wins together recently. So I'm just thinking like the Blues were kind of on the fence probably, and Dubas was just like, here, have it. We want O'Reilly now. So I don't know, man. This could backfire again, but Dubas is showing he has the balls to do it. And I got to give respects to it, but this is all in now. Dubas is going all in. There's no bullshit now. Dubas is going all in. And yeah, this is kind of a home run swing. I personally still will say, I think they still need to make one more significant move. Because to me, Acciari, I love the fit for Acciari on this team. He adds a must-needed, like, fourth line scoring with that edge, right? On that fourth line. And I think, as I said, to me, my ideal fourth line for the playoffs for the Leafs right now is Kampf, Aston Reese, and Acciari. And that's why I was kind of making that hot take about Nick Bonino, because Bonino saw that Pittsburgh Cup just right there with Aston Reese. So, but Acciari was with the Blues, or with the Bruins, when the Blues won the Cup. So, and then he obviously joined the Blues. So Acciari and O'Reilly, I think these are two good playoff fits. But again, I still think they need to go for one more move. And again, yeah, we've talked about it, guys. If they do all this just to lose to Tampa, it's going to be tough. I'm going to pull it up, guys, on the stream here. But please, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We're on the way to 50,000. I really appreciate it. A lot of Leafs stuff here, but also overall NHL stuff. So let's pull it up on the timeline here. This is this is crazy, man. So we'll pull up Ryan O'Reilly. We'll pull up some Dubas tweets here too as well. Let's see. Exit that out. All right, huge. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So Ryan O'Reilly, acquired by Toronto, is a top 6 two-way playmaking center who typically has a very strong defensive impact. His production is down this year, but he's still creating chances at a high rate. So obviously O'Reilly 5-on-5. I mean, this is well known at this point. Ryan O'Reilly 5-on-5, extremely reliable defensively. That's always been the case for the most part. When his offense is at a high rate, and I believe it will be at this point, if you're looking at O'Reilly, he's helping out even that second power play quite a bit. So I think if you have O'Reilly on that second power play with Bunting, Yarncrow, it takes Engvall off the power play potentially. And I think that's a huge dub. I think you run 2 defensemen on that second power play, O'Reilly, Bunting, Yarncrow. That's a pretty underrated second power play, especially if you go get another forward still. But it's tough because, again, the Leafs, for me, as long as they can win a round, then I think a guy like O'Reilly will push kind of them over the top at that point. I just think this curse thing, this mindset thing for the Leafs is obviously tough. But anyways, let's go through some more tweets. Conn Smythe winner, Cup winner. O'Reilly's got a pretty nice resume on him. So this is the full trade, guys, for anyone that didn't see it. So the Leafs have acquired Ryan O'Reilly and Noel Acciari in a 3-team trade with St. Louis and Minnesota. For everyone that is not aware, so basically 3-team trade, sure, if you want to call it that. That's why a lot of people are going to compare this to the Foligno trade as well, because in the Foligno trade with the Leafs and Columbus, they got San Jose involved, and I believe it was actually for a 4th-round pick as well to retain 25%. So we can pull it up on Cap Friendly when it's ready, so we'll get the salaries going. But this basically gets the Leafs, especially with the LTIR from Muzzin, they'll be cap compliant without even moving those roster players, as I said. So I still, in my head, I think Dubas still has another big move. And maybe that's naive for me to say, because I thought that after the Foligno trade when he made that kind of move. I still think Dubas needs to make one more big move. Like the contracts of Kerfoot, Engvall, Hall, that contributes to a lot, and it can get you a big contract and it can get you a big player that even maybe is past this year. So I'm gonna say that again, guys. I really do believe that at the end of the day, this is a W move for what Dubas is trying to do in his last year. But if the Leafs don't go on a serious run here, it's not going to be a win of a trade at all, even if they pass the first round, unless O'Reilly stays past this year. I think the best case scenario, where the Leafs don't obviously win a cup this year, but the best case scenario in a realistic sense is the Leafs, for me, winning a round or 2 even, and then O'Reilly he's not going to sign as low as like some of these true vets, but maybe a short-term, like 1 or 2 year deal with Toronto to stay past this year. And then I could see them going for their big run next year. But you know what? I think a lot of Leaf fans have that just first round mentality in their head, which is, it's honestly, you can call it a loser mentality in some ways, but obviously Leaf fans just want to see that one round at this point. We have over 300 in the chat. Again, guys, I really do appreciate you hitting that subscribe button, hit that like, the notification bell. We're going to have an emergency podcast with Lucas probably tomorrow earlier. So if you guys like these live streams, just chatting it up, shooting the shit, I'm going to read a bunch of comments and questions in the chat. Sorry, guys. I'm so tripped right now, man. I was like in bed watching a movie, just looking for a nice chill Friday night because we're going out tomorrow night, and just Dubas on a Friday night. What a guy. But yeah, let's pull up the comments here. I still can't believe this happened, man. This is freaking crazy. What's up, Beto? Andrew, what's going on? Henry, Grayson, I'll answer some questions in the chat. Yeah, Brooke, we can ask the chat what you guys think. What's going on, Ace? If you guys think Samsonov or Murray will start game 1. Also, I uploaded guys, did a reaction video post for me? I was trying to post it, and I'm not sure. Let's see here. Oh, it's still uploading. That's weird. Whatever. Can O'Reilly play wing? And Andy, that's the huge part about this trade, right? If the Leafs feel Kampf can play that shutdown role in the playoffs and they need more offense, does O'Reilly find himself on the wing in the top 6? And I think the answer is yeah, potentially. I think O'Reilly, to me, fits what they're looking for, and especially what we saw. Like, I hate bringing up the Montreal series, but to me, I don't think that you're going to find too many Habs fans. Yeah, sure, they're probably going to trip the situation, but you're not going to find too many realistic Habs fans that go, yeah, we win that series if Tavares plays, right? So I think that's the big point of this trade. The Leafs don't want a situation again where, God forbid, one of those guys go down, and they have, again, I love David Kampf. To me, David Kampf's one of the more underrated guys on this team, even when he's not producing. But Tavares or Matthews, I'm not even going to say it again, but Kampf cannot be your second line guy. Kerfoot cannot be your second line guy. It just cannot happen. It just freaking can't happen again. There's no chance it can happen again. So worst case, you have Ryan O'Reilly as your second line center. That is the best worst case possible. So yes, Ryan O'Reilly can play wing, but I think the fact is that you have that option. You have that security now. So you know what? They have options. And I didn't even mention Brendan. Great point on Holmberg. I didn't even mention that. Is like, Holmberg can be another option on that fourth line center, and you're really not lacking defensively. Sure, you know what? You can criticize Holmberg's offensive IQ at times, but even another guy that's super underrated, Holmberg is so great defensively. So the fact that your options consist of Holmberg, Acciari, Kampf, and Aston Reese on that fourth line, I'm comfortable with that. I still think the Leafs need to improve that middle six. I think some fans are expecting Nyes to come in and be an impact there. But yeah, Jeremiah, guys, I'm sorry. I'm not freaking out like on the outside as much anymore, but trust me, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it right now big time. I'm shaking a bit. I honestly don't know, guys. Still, I'm going to have to. Yeah, Jesse Pullock's trolling. It's going to be, again, such a stab in the heart if they make these kind of moves and it goes the same way. Mike, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I wonder if the Leafs were to make one more move, Nyes finds himself on a third line with the likes of O'Reilly and whoever else is there. I still think you trade Engvall or Kerfoot to create some space for yourself. Nessa, what's going on? Yeah, B-Dove, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if the Leafs can make one more move, you might find yourself with a really interesting line. We saw, the Blues have been I don't know if I think Richard Clay's in here. How's it going, Loretti? I'm okay with the Leafs keeping Engvall in the scenario where, again, it's that certain role, and to me, someone's got to light a fire under Engvall's ass to have some passion in the playoffs. I understand people I like Engvall's fit when he's actually skating and he's hard on the forecheck. But guys, how many times do we see Engvall like freaking his back's like straight up? This guy's just going for this guy's just pumping his arms, not laying a hit, not even breathing on a guy. Like, That's what we talk about, like the Bruins and Lightning series, the matchups. If you have a 6'5" guy in Pierre Engvall not laying a single hit, you have a serious problem. And so many games this year I've seen Engvall just do flybys on a guy. This guy's 6'5". He just does flybys. O'Reilly won't be doing... I promise you O'Reilly does not do flybys. Everyone has their moments like that, but that's... To me, I hate being the freaking guy that goes like that for playoffs, but you've got to be in that department somewhat. So, I already said, I think this is a massive W for the Blues, guys. I think this is a massive W for the Blues. That's my opinion. That doesn't necessarily mean this is an L for the Leafs. And I think that's got to be, made important. Sure, I think this is a massive W for the Blues. I think Blues fans should be extremely happy with this return. The Leafs seriously have one of two things working for them in this trade, is if they can finally get past that first round, or if they can, this is such a loser mentality, but if they keep O'Reilly past this year. So this is such a W for the Blues. In a stacked draft, the fact that the Blues have opportunities here. So fitness. O'Reilly's a good presence in front of the net for sure. He scored a lot of his goals in and around the net and around that, outskirts of that crease. But I feel like O'Reilly also is he's smart player in all departments. I feel like that was kind of what you saw in the playoff run. O'Reilly's experience being a big part of the Blues run. Obviously his production just worked out as well, and Conn Smythe to show for. So I think the power play too is pretty solid, of course, but I still, maybe it's selfish or maybe greedy, but I still think you got to go for another move. Simon, what's going on? Yeah, Dove, I'll ask the chat, guys. Do you guys think they split the power play up now or still run with the top unit? Because this is a scenario that I was talking about, and now especially with O'Reilly in the picture, you could have a top unit of, and I've talked about this, you could run Matthews with Marner, Bunting, and then for the example here, you go O'Reilly. So you have Matthews, Bunting, Marner, O'Reilly, Riley, sure. And then you could run Tavares, Nylander, Yarncrow, Liljegren, Sandin. I still think that's pretty sexy. That second unit, Tavares, Nylander, Yarncrow, Sandin, Liljegren. And your top unit, I don't know how anyone could criticize that top unit that I just outlined. So that's not bad, guys. That's not bad. And Zach, how's it going? Guys, please, let's get 100 likes. Hit that thumbs up. I would love for them to get Luke Shen. That would be the added that I was talking about. So let's get 100 likes, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and let us know in the chat who you think won this trade, or if maybe you're giving a dub to both in some ways, an L in some ways. Yeah, we'll see, man. O'Reilly, hopefully the Toronto boys, especially a guy like Spaz, Giordano, hopefully these guys can convince O'Reilly to stay even past this year. Yeah, Richard, I think the Blues get a big dub here in their own way, for sure. Yeah, if you guys subscribe, your name should pop up on the screen, so let me know. Well, yeah, Logan, buddy, you should know it, well, with Acciari being in the Atlantic the way he was with the Bruins, fourth line, we have to talk about, guys that score weird goals or guys that do, big things in small, I just think Acciari does those big things in small areas, and I think he has a little bit of bite, which it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt that Acciari hits everything that moves. Acciari is a little bit of a shit disturber in some ways. That's something that, hey, if you watch Leaf games, I think you could admit, sure, I think the argument is the Leafs don't hit as much as other teams because they have the puck a lot, but it's also, they don't have guys like that. And I think that's kind of been my underlying concern lately, is Bunting is taking too much of that role. And I don't want a Kadri 2.0, where the guy feels like he's doing too much or needs to do too much, and then no one's helping him in that department. Acciari adds to that. I love Simmer. Don't get me wrong. I love Simmons. But, and I'm taking Simmons as the fight champ over Acciari. But my point is, Acciari's got more, I would say, ability at this point in his career, just in terms of 5v5 overall play. Of course, you might need Simmons in a game. But, Nick, thank you so much for subscribing. And Zach with the $3 donation. Thank you so much for the dono, Zach. I really appreciate it. Wow. Yeah, Joseph, that was like me out ripping some Netflix. Banger with the 5 says Minnesota wins the trade. This is not bad for Minnesota. In a window where they're pretty weird with their cap right now and trying to figure out what they are, this is pretty massive. That is pretty massive for sure. Oh yeah, I want to post the TikTok. Oh, okay, my reaction video I think is loaded. There we go. Some of these thumbnails are hilarious. All right, I'm just posting it for banter. I don't care. That's hilarious. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Oof. I still can't believe that. Hey, we got some donos ripping in the trades, or in the chat. Zach, thank you so much for the 2. Okay, guys, based on this info, do you think Toronto's still on Patty Kane? To be honest, I'm going to say probably not. But where do you think Patty Kane's going if you think he's going somewhere else? Ashton, I think this is a good trade for all teams. Pretty pumped for as Leaf fans. Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. On a Friday night, bro. Ty says Kane to Dallas. What's going on, Ty? Welcome if you're a new subscriber. Joseph says, who else should the Leafs try and add to ensure they are strong Stanley Cup contenders? Yeah, Joseph, I still think they need to add a winger. And I've seen some people in the chat say O'Reilly on that top 6. Either with maybe with Tavares and Marner, and I think that could work at some points, but I really think that's your third line guy. That's your center guy. That's your insurance. I would really like for the Leafs to still add that top 6 winger. I don't think that's why I'm potentially excited here, because if Dubas can still go for that top 6 winger, I think you're talking about a team that can go so deep here. Tampa Bay, this is where Toronto's lacked a bit. The Foligno one's obviously the curse one that people will look at, but again, Zach, thanks for subscribing. If the Leafs, and I said this earlier, if the Leafs make a move like this, they can't just sit and chill the rest of the way. They still need to make another move. Look at Tampa, man. Tampa got Coleman and frickin' Barclay Goodrow. Boom, Stanley Cup. Yeah, you know what? They lost first round picks or I guess the second in Foot and then the first for Goodrow. But you've got to take those risky trades. And Foligno was such a bad example, but I think, as I said, if O'Reilly can stay healthy, that's the major thing here. If O'Reilly stays healthy, this can be such a W trade for the Leafs. But again, it's all about health, and it's all about, obviously, success to the point where if the Leafs win a couple of rounds and lose O'Reilly in free agency, then that's a conversation to be had where it was worth it. But imagine the same scenario again. The Leafs get booted in the first round, O'Reilly walks in free agency. We're talking nightmare territory again. So that's what Justin's talking about in the chat. Zach with the 3, thank you so much for the dono, says, let's get Tyler Bertuzzi or McCabe. Yeah, you know what? Tyler Bertuzzi, I know a lot of people have talked about that. That would be a pretty stellar third line for sure. So I guess keep an eye on that. But guys, again, and Richard, that's what I was talking about earlier. I said Nyes, O'Reilly, Yarncrow could end up being the third line in the playoffs. So you know what? That's not horrible. That's really not bad. As I said, I really want the Leafs to still get a top 6 forward. But Kerfoot and Engvall are in the equation here, guys. So in the chat, guys, after the trade deadline, where will Kerfoot and Engvall be? I want to see it in the comments. If you guys think Kerfoot and Engvall will still be a Leaf, one of them, both of them, one of them traded, let us know in the chat. This definitely crowds up the forward group a lot, guys, because it's not like roster players are going out the door here. O'Reilly and Acciari come in. It gets crowded. That's why I still think another trade's coming for sure, because you got to clear out at least one of those roster players. To me, yeah, even if you send Holmberg down, you still got guys competing there. So I don't know. What's up, Woody? What's up, GC? Logan, Sean, Chris, thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Violain, thank you so much for subscribing. Evan, what's up? Chase, Sin, Ian. Yeah, I mean, they didn't give up Nyes, which is huge, but this is a lot to give up for sure. We got 430 in the chat, guys. Please hit that subscribe button. Let us know in the chat if you're a new viewer. But yeah, I'm gonna stick around here for another maybe 15 minutes at least, because yeah, this is a pretty massive trade. Not ideal on a Friday night, but we're getting her done. I wanted to pull up some more stuff on Twitter, just read some stuff off for you guys. I can show it also. Let's see. Yeah, who's this Isn't that... Wait, didn't that guy get... Yeah, Josh Pillar, guys. Does anyone know much about... I can't fake it and say I do. Let's see. This was just like a throw-in on the deal, or what happened? 21 years old. Plays for Sask. Interesting. I don't know if that's necessarily significant, but... Zach with the 3 says they need Nyes. He'll be a good player in the playoffs. Yeah, that's interesting. Elp says, you think we were making more moves? Would have been nice to see Barbashev instead of Acciari. Great work. Love for your show. Thank you. Appreciate the comment. Yeah, it's tough to say. As I said, I think they are going to make another big move, but it's also the pessimistic side of me is like, I thought the same thing after the Foligno trade. I really did. And they stood pat basically. So I can't imagine they keep both Kerfoot and Engvall. I really can't, guys. Like, I will be proven wrong in such a great way if they keep both those guys. I'm looking at the lineup structure. I don't think Engvall or Kerfoot are on the fourth line with the likes of Acciari, Camp, Holmberg, and Ashton Reese all fighting for fourth line spots. Especially with this trade now for O'Reilly. I don't think the only guy that I just listed that might find themselves on the third line at points is Camp. If O'Reilly gets the boost to the second line. And as I just said, if O'Reilly's in the second line, that means Yarncrow's on the third line. One of Kerfoot or Engvall just doesn't fit in there. So, well, Logan, it depends on what O'Reilly wants for one, and two, they'll have 18 million of cap space. If Bunting is no more than like 4 million, they could afford O'Reilly. It's just their whole, like, I guess, yeah. I mean, the last piece of their third line plus the fourth line will only have to contribute to like 4 million to their cap, so it'll have to be all $1 million players. Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking, Logan. It depends on what O'Reilly wants. If O'Reilly just wanted to sign a 2-year deal, get a couple of chances with the Leafs, I could see it being in the 3 to 4 million range for sure. I mean, at the age that he is, yeah. It depends. I don't know if O'Reilly like values being close to like Toronto and Ontario, so I don't know. What's up, Steven? But yeah, guys, let's try to get to 200 likes here. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new. Hit that like button. Yeah, I mean, Tony. I would say O'Reilly, to me, he's good on the PK, but I think the 5-on-5 aspect here and the depth up the middle is the key part here. Wow, Jeremiah with the 20. Let's get some Jeremiah hype in the chat. Thank you so much for the dono. W's, what's up, Joe? Thanks for being here. Welcome if you're a new subscriber. Does O'Reilly play physical at all? I've not seen him play, but he looks like a big boy. Yeah, Chris, he's a bigger guy. Like, O'Reilly has a good frame. I would say he definitely ups it up in the playoffs. Like, I've watched a few Blues games this year, and I think O'Reilly hasn't been himself completely, especially offensively. Definitely not as physical as I would usually see him, but I also think the health was an aspect this year. That's the only concern, again, for this trade, guys. Like, I'm really concerned about that aspect. I have, like, these Foligno PTSD moments here, because it's like O'Reilly just battled an injury this year. It would be really shitty if they made another trade like this and they don't know the health of the player. I know I've talked to Blues fans who say O'Reilly's never really been, like, it's never really been a problem with his health. But, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Richard. To me, O'Reilly's physicality, I've seen in the playoffs. It comes to life a little bit more in the playoffs. So, definitely not the most physical, but he can play with the edge. He brings it in the playoffs a little bit more. What's up, Justin? Yeah, Storm, exactly. What we've seen from O'Reilly in the playoffs, he's a workhorse. What's up, Jeff? Did the Rangers come back, Jeremiah? No way. Oh my God, the Rangers just tied it. The Oilers are freaking selling. Wow. That's crazy. Live it. I would if I was downstairs. It's not on the TV. Tough L. Yo, 10 more likes to 150. But if you have any questions, guys, ask away. Sorry, man. Friday night, I was not expecting to break down a trade Friday night. This is crazy, man. Jeez, the Oilers actually blew. What was it, 4-1 or? Wow. Elliot Friedman says O'Reilly and Acciari are supposed to arrive for the game tomorrow. That's crazy. Even if they don't play tomorrow, it's a good chance they play Sunday. That's friggin' nuts. Wow. So the Blues don't give a shit that they've won games lately. They're selling. That's crazy. I can't believe that. Yeah, Blues fans or Bruins fans. So, hey, bottom line views in the chat. Go check out his channel. Let's go. Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, let's pull up Cat Friendly. Frank, I like Acciari too. I've heard really good things about Acciari. I like Acciari quite a bit. Again, people just need to understand what Acciari is. He's a very good fourth liner for the playoffs. Probably your best potential fit, to be honest. And how much I've been talking about the Leafs for O'Reilly, to me, I thought it was a stretch, but this is huge. This is freaking huge. So let's pull it up here. The Leafs on Cap Friendly. So O'Reilly will contribute. I think he's still technically... Did it update? It doesn't say O'Reilly updated on Cap Friendly. I'll take a look in a sec again. But the Leafs will have the flexibility with the LTIR with Muzz. The only thing that I don't love is that the Leafs still stand pat at the same roster size spot, which, yeah, I definitely don't love. I was hoping if they make a trade like this, they were going to open up an extra roster spot and they're 50, but I think they're even right now still with only Abramov and Godek going out the other way. But, yeah, not ideal. Yeah, Connor, we'll see. Yeah, Pete, I'm still... Guys, honestly, the reason why I'm still stuck here a bit is, I'm still trying to decide if I like it or not. On the surface, again, I love it. I think it improves the Leafs greatly. But, yeah, it's super risky. So Noel Acciari will be on the fourth line on the forward group for the Leafs. As I said, guys, if right now, based on what's realistic, if the Leafs were not to make another forward move, which again, I hope Dubas does, but if the Leafs were not to make another forward group, this is basically your lines going into the playoffs as it stands. It'll be Bunting, Matthews, Nylander, probably. Then it will be, we'll go Yarncrow, Tavares. Yeah, Yarncrow, Tavares, Marner. Then probably Kerfoot, O'Reilly, Engvall for now. I hope that's not the case. And then your fourth line will be Kampf, Aston Reese, and Acciari. That's probably your lineup. If the Leafs don't make any other changes, that's your lineup. I don't like it. But you know what? I like it a lot more if all of a sudden Engvall's on that fourth line with Kampf. Nyes gets in there, Yarncrow on that third line, as we talked about, and then you acquire a top six forward still. Then we're talking. Then we're freaking talking. Well, that's the huge thing, right? That's the thing. They created space here with the deal. Thank you so much, Greg, for the elite membership. Big shout out to Greg in the chat. Daniel says Domi at 50% is very doable. Yeah, I feel like they might make a deal like that. John, if you are Leafs GM, do you go all in and try to acquire a D-man like McCabe, slightly retain possibly, like full on go for it like with the Florida teams? No, I don't think so, Jack. To me, McCabe is going to require at least a first-round pick, especially if it's retained. I like the Domi comparison's better. Like they're probably going to go for another forward in like the $2 to $3 million range, I hope, and swap Kerfoot or Engvall out. That's kind of what I see them doing. I could be wrong, but if they can do a trade like that, I think they'll do it. Let's get to 200 likes, guys. Appreciate it. Let's rip through Twitter a little bit more. And yeah, we have almost 500 in the chat. So, hey, it's free to subscribe. If you guys can give this channel a chance, I'm going to stream for all of the Leafs playoffs. Stuart, thanks for subscribing. And all day, we do the podcast every Monday. All day on NHL trade deadline, March 3rd on the Friday, I'll be live all day, starting at like 8 a.m. in the morning. 8 a.m. in the morning, what a dummy. I'll start at 8 a.m. from the morning to the evening. Hey, F's in the chat for that one. That's a dummy moment. But yeah, I'll go from the morning to probably right to the evening, like 4 or 5. Ace, what's going on? But that's how you guys know I'm tired. Freaking almost, we're getting closer to midnight. Friday night Dubas trade, attaboy. Stringer, what's going on? Yeah, Ryu education, Mitch. There you go. Frig, man. Was not expecting to break down a trade tonight. Yeah, Michael, what concerns you about the decor? Is it the lack of physicality or is it just inexperience? Because I think we've talked about how great Sandy and Liljegren have been together this year. But obviously the problem is we saw it against Boston. Just, yeah, the inexperience might come to show when it comes to playing Tampa and Boston in the playoffs. I think that's when it came down to like Keefe taking out Liljegren to put Hall in. I think Liljegren's shown that he's way better than last year. He's taken major strides. But of course, we still know Hall provides the value in the penalty kill, and that's what I think maybe makes the difference for Hall to stay in the lineup. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I still think the Leafs have holes here in this lineup. I've said it. I want to believe in this team, but to me, if they really want to match up against both Tampa and Boston and beat both of them, they still need to acquire another defenseman that's more physical. That's basically Justin. That's why I've talked about Luke Shen, but there's other guys out there. Basically, you need to get your Justin Hall that's not a freaking Justin Hall. So get the guy that can be on the penalty kill, get the guy that blocks shots, but a guy that's a lot more capable 5-on-5. And ideally a lot more physical, and that's why we bring up Luke Shen. And then the top 6 winger. This is not, I will stand by this, this is not the top 6 winger addition. It shouldn't be. If they put O'Reilly on the wing, to me, this is not the deal you should have made. O'Reilly should be the third line center in this case. Especially with his lack of production this year, he should be on the third line as the center, and they should be still going to acquire a top 6 winger. I know that's easier said than done. Even if it takes trading Matt Nyes, I stand by that. If it's a guy that's going to stay past this year, you're not trading Nyes for a rental. There's just no chance you're doing that. But if it's past this year, Janot and Lazon from Nashville, those guys hit like crazy. See, that could be a fit if it's not too expensive. No, so Villy, if you seriously think Matt Nyes, like maybe he does. Maybe Matt Nyes joins the Leafs and scores some goals. But my point is, that's not something you should bet on. That's not something you should rely on and put pressure on a freaking 20-year-old to go out there and be a top 6 winger in the playoffs. Unless he was a top 5 or top 10 pick. Like Matt Nyes was not a high draft pick. Later second round, which is still obviously respectable, but it's not a guy you should be throwing in the playoffs in that kind of role. But hey, you know what? Players surprise us sometimes. Kevin says you do not get O'Reilly to play in the third line. Okay, man. I don't know what to tell you. Look at Tampa Bay and look at Boston. Like Boston, they've had 3 lines rolling this year like it's nobody's business. You seriously think a third line that includes Kerfoot and Engvall is going to get you ways against Tampa and Boston? Seriously, chat. Like, let's get to this point. We've seen it multiple years now. You seriously think a third line that consists of Kerfoot and Engvall as the primary guys in the third line is going to get you somewhere? I'm telling you, it is a mistake if O'Reilly is put on that third line or put on that second line and still have that gap on that third line center. The Leafs' best chance, I've said it multiple times, guys. The Leafs' best chance to win a cup was that 2018-2019 window, specifically 2019. They would have beat Boston. I'm more confident that they would have beat Boston in 2019 with Kadri in there than the Montreal series, just because the Leafs at that point, the trauma is already made. If Kadri was in that 2019, if he didn't get suspended, if he was in that 2019 series, the Leafs were beating Boston and potentially going to the cup final. I'll stand by that. That third line center in the playoffs, the fact that they had Matthews, Tavares, Kadri, Matthews, Tavares, O'Reilly is one of the best in the league right now. I think you could make the case that it's the best, one of the best in the league right now. The fact that Kampf is your fourth line again, fourth line center, if O'Reilly's in that spot, that's disgusting. To me, there's only a couple other teams in the league that you could argue with that center depth. So, yeah, we'll see, guys, what happens. There's going to be decisions made. Hull's back in the lineup tomorrow, so they're going to make that defense decision because you still have some cushion, in my opinion, on that defense with Jordy Ben sitting in the wings, and you have a couple guys that you can call up from the AHL. Obviously not ideal, but the fact that Jordy Ben is your 8th defenseman, you can move a guy, right? So that's where I'm just going. I know some people are going to be like, yeah, you bring O'Reilly in to have that impact in the top 6. Well, let's just outline the Lightning lines, please. All right. This is the Tampa Bay Lightning top 3 lines. Okay. Brandon Hagel, Braden Point, Nikita Kucherov, Anthony Cirelli, Steven Stamkos, and Alex Killorn. That's your top 6. Then your third line, Ross Colton, who drops 20 goals, Nick Paul, who put 2 on Toronto's head in Game 7, and Nemestikov, who's got some bite. That's a decent third line. And Nick Paul's your third line center, and the fact that you have Anthony Cirelli as the third line center option if you need him to be, yeah, that's pretty decent. I think before this trade for O'Reilly, I'm looking at Tampa again, and I'm like, it's going to be the same result. To me, at least, I don't feel to that extent. I don't know. I don't feel as bad. O'Reilly fits that role, right? So it makes me... It definitely makes my mind go a little crazy thinking about Tampa's depth, man. Well, that's what I'm saying, Logan. Tampa has the best problem in the world. Regardless of if they have Paul as the third line center and Cirelli on the wing, or Cirelli as the third line center, Paul on the wing, like, it's a win either way. But thank you guys again. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new. Your name will pop up on the screen. Sorry again, guys. A Friday night. I was not expecting this. This is crazy. I'm gonna keep chilling with you guys for a bit more. Did my video drop on the channel? I think it did. Yeah, it did. All right. Any questions, guys? I want to read some comments in the chat and ask some questions. All right. We'll definitely be talking about this a lot. Chris, hey, Daryl, thanks for being a new subscriber. Yeah, guys, I'll be live streaming all day on trade deadline day, and I will also be, I'll be live for every Leaf playoff game. Game 7, if we can get a group watch party going, we'll do that, because I expect Game 7 at this point. Max says Bunting, Matthews, Marner, Young Crow, Tavares, Nylander, Kerfoot, O'Reilly, Engvall, Acciari, Holmberg, Zach Aston Reese. What do you think? Well, you don't have Kampf in there. I'm sure you just forgot about Kampf, I'm assuming. So, yeah, just swap Kampf in for Holmberg. And as I already said, guys, in the hypothetical sense where they are done, yeah, that's probably the line they go, or that's probably the forward group that they go in with the playoffs. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to think as I speak, which is not working out. Yeah, the only other guy I could see in the lineup for a specialty game or certain game is Simmons, but... yeah, I would say if Engvall and Kerfoot are not moved. To me, I would love a scenario where Engvall is comfortable with Kampf on that fourth line. But then you have to make 2 additions or rely on Matt Nyes to join the lineup before the playoffs. So, yeah, Logan, I've seen the Tyler Bertuzzi to Tampa rumors. Jesse, your wife's due date is March 3rd. Well, congratulations. And, yeah, hopefully the Leafs make a big move on deadline day for you. Rob says, please take Parayko off our hands, too. He's had a rough year, I've heard. I've seen some games, too, where he's been rough. But Greg, March 3rd is trade deadline. What's going on, Bob? Welcome if you're a new subscriber. Yeah, Jeremiah, the only chance Tampa can make that trade is if Philip Myers' contract and then Nemestikov goes the other way back to Detroit. Hey, 10 more likes to 200. Let's get there. Shorzy says Acciari will be in the lineup for sure. Kerfoot's getting traded. Yeah, I mean, I think one of Kerfoot or Engvall, there's a good chance one of them get moved for another forward. I truly don't think Dubas is done, guys, but what kind of deal? Like, he'll make another move. I don't know if we should expect another big one. I hope he goes all in, man. At this point, you've risked this much. Don't half-ass it. You either go all in or stay pretty neutral, in my opinion. So if you're going to make this move, you truly have to make another one. Because I don't look at this team right now, even with O'Reilly in the picture, I still think they need another piece. That's what I said, guys. I said 2 major pieces for the Leafs to go for a run, potentially. O'Reilly's the one I love Acciari. Don't get me wrong. I love Acciari. But O'Reilly's the one. You got to go for another. Yeah, Ashton, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully at least one more move. Wow. The Oilers are going to the power play with 1 minute left in overtime. That's crazy. Let's freaking go. I won my parlay for tonight. Let's go, guys. Big dubs in the chat. Hot Take Hockey dub parlay tonight. Let's go. Dubs in the chat. Woo! Dub parlay, dub trade. W's in the chat. I want to see you spam the W's for a hot minute. Let's go. Yeah, 75% retained. Yeah, Shampoo. Bo Horvat would have been crazy for sure. But again, I think the Leafs gave up less still, in my opinion, because I honestly truly think that how a lot of people see Ratu as a prospect, he's worth like basically a late first round pick. So it depends how you look at it. The Leafs still gave up the first round pick. The Islanders gave up a first round pick. Ratu a second and third. It's similar value. So the Leafs basically gave up the same thing for Horvat, or that the Islanders gave for Horvat. Which, again, make your arguments. I don't know. I think Horvat would have been pretty nuts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Options. I think between Kerfoot, Hall, and Engvall, I would be shocked if one of them doesn't get dealt. What's up, Logan? Jordan, this is a crazy trade. Sways, what's going on? Big Bad, Don, Jack, Patty Kane to Tampa. Canucks can retain salary. Oh my God, I would cry. Like, I wonder if the Bruins are Lightning. This is the only thing that concerns me with Dubas is like he makes this move. Like, is this a power move, guys? Like, chat, if you think there's a team between the Bruins and Lightning that is going to get mad at this trade and be like, we got to respond ASAP, which team, guys? Bruins or Lightning? I feel like the Lightning are going to look at this and be like, yeah, Dubas? You want to make a move like that? All right. Stevie Y, we're getting Bertuzzi right now. Or like Boston's going to be like, yeah? All right. We'll set a couple contracts back. Chicago, we want Patty Kane right now. Pete, what's going on? What's up, Shampoo? Yeah, I honestly think the Bruins might get Barbashev. Honestly, I think between the Bruins, Oilers, there was another team I was talking about with Barbashev the other day. Was it Colorado? No, I don't think it was Colorado. But I was talking about Boston and Edmonton for Barbashev. So we'll see. Imagine the Rangers just go, screw it. We're going to go for Kane again. Great. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, guys, see, if you subscribe, your name pops up. Let's go. We're trying to get 50K subscribers in 2023. Man, it's been a journey. It'd be unreal to get it this year. Yeah, Leafs defense, 100%. I think Adam Henrique is such an underrated, probably one of the most underrated targets for the deadline. I think the fact that Like the cap is like, hey, I'll say this right now. If there was a deal where the Leafs could like trade, I don't know, one or two of their B-level prospects, maybe a third-round pick, send Kerfoot and Engvall to Anaheim and get Henrique, I don't care. I would take that Henrique contract. Henrique, to me, is a significant upgrade over both Kerfoot and Engvall in the playoffs. Huge upgrade. So to me, if you can get Henrique and O'Reilly on that third line, I'm hyped about that third line for the playoffs. That'd be freaking sweet if the Leafs could get Henrique and O'Reilly on that same line for the third line. That's nuts secondary scoring. I'd be all in for that. So, hey, you heard it from me here. I hope Dubas makes a move like that. As I said, guys, go for another middle six guy. Of course, I would love a defense trade too, but what's going on, Dallas? Jay, what's up? Gaudette, Rob is, to me, he could be an NHL guy. I think he has the NHL skill set. It's just role for him. He's got like a good skill set to produce, but like not that role player that can be in the bottom six of an NHL team, at least a team that's competing for the playoffs. So he was the third line for the Canucks for a while. He had decent production. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. I'm pretty sure Gaudette had like a 15 or 20 goal season at one point. I could be wrong on that. Let me pull it up. But he had one really productive season with the Canucks. Sorry, he was on pace for, I think, 20 goals. He had, 12 in 59 games. So he probably would have got close to 20 goals, over 15 for sure. So that was his most successful year. He had 1 year, that was, 3 years ago? He had 33 points in 59 games. That was like a third-line guy, not bad, right? 12 goals, 21 assists. Pretty decent. Damn, McDavid stopped in the shootout. It's nuts. Chris says, doesn't O'Reilly bring some toughness also? Yeah, I mean, Chris, he's not... I don't want to mislead Leaf fans, because I know I've seen some people say, like, this guy's super physical. I said O'Reilly is that type of player that he ups it in the playoffs. You don't necessarily see it too much in the season. He's a very, like, great controlled center. Face-offs are obviously top-notch with O'Reilly at times, and his matchup game, 5-on-5. But I think the fact that he does bring a little bit of an edge and physical aspect to his game in the playoffs was one of the reasons why he won the Conn Smythe. Obviously, the production. I mean, he put up over a point per game. But the face-off aspect, the matchup aspect, 5-on-5, sure, he'll be on the penalty kill probably, but more so defensively, 5-on-5 is where he stands out. And that's what you need in the playoffs, man. You need 3 lines running in the playoffs, at least. Obviously, the fourth line scores your odd goal, and that's what we saw from Colorado on their cup run. But if you have 3 lines rolling, you can be super dangerous. Yeah, guys, if you want to comment in the chat, the next trade's the fall. Where do you think Timo Meier's going? Where do you think Patrick Kane's going? Well, Jack, the Leafs can't do that cap-wise, but if you're taking Kerfoot and Engvall as well, then maybe the money will make sense to get Besser and Shen. EJ, please don't spam. Come on. Ginger, I never said he's going on on the second line. I said O'Reilly would be on the third line. Third line center is my opinion. But again, guys, let us know in the chat if you're a new subscriber. I want to shout out as many people as possible. Code 88, Timo to Edmonton. That's a hot take. There you go. Meyer to New Jersey. Well, yeah, Rob, the thing is, right, they have the LTIR flexibility, and, yeah, I mean, for their cap situation, they're going to have to move one of their guys still. I've said that, so we'll see. Ryan's in St. Louis is probably still not done making trades. I don't think so, Ryan. And, again, the Blues are in such a weird situation because they've won games lately. They're only, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're only, 5 points out, 6 points out. It's something really close like that all of a sudden with the Blues winning their last, 3 games. Let's check. So... yeah, I mean, the Wild, they're 8 points out, but they have a game in hand on the Wild. So they're 8 points out with a game in hand. That's not unreachable. But I think at this point, they're just going to sell and just whatever happens, happens. They're sellers. So I don't know. I think they might just ride it out with most of their guys that they have locked up, but I think Barbashev will get traded, and I think they're going to try their best to get a first-round pick. To me, I think the only chance, again, it's like with Tampa Bay, they made those trades, trading a first-round pick for Barclay Goodrow. If the Lightning didn't win a cup with Barclay Goodrow, they would have looked like absolute dummies. So that's the kind of situation it is. If you can trade a first-round pick for Barbashev and win a cup or go far, then worth. Jordan, thank you so much for subscribing. Let's go, guys. Hey, Angelo, thank you so much for subscribing. You guys are legends. Let's go. Let's pull up Twitter for a second here. This is freaking crazy. So Rangers win. Wow, Oilers choked. That's freaking nuts. Man, I can't believe Sid, man. This guy's hating on O'Reilly on Twitter. That's wild. I can't believe Ryan O'Reilly's a Leaf. Ryan O'Reilly is a freaking Leaf. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to drop another video tomorrow, guys. I recorded some of this, so I'll post it on again, but this is crazy. So I was just trying to read tweets. All right, I'm going to go for another 5 minutes, guys. 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, Daniel, I'm in the GTA. Hey, Daniel, welcome if you're a new subscriber. Appreciate it, guys. Again, we record the podcast every Monday. We got a huge guest. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm telling you guys, like, every single one of you in the chat right now, I promise you, knows this guest. We got a big-time guest coming next week. A couple, actually. But we just had Mark Spector on the podcast. We just had Craig Button. We had James Duffy on the podcast. We had David Alter. Daniel says O'Reilly is basically confirmed to play tomorrow, but Acciari apparently needs a work visa. True. That's crazy. How does this affect the Leafs' future? I love the trade about the future draft picks given away. I'm worried about the future after the core is either retired or gone. Yeah, it's risky. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's risky. Again, this is why I feel split. I remember a lot of people were defending the Foligno trade, and I'm not comparing it to this directly, but it's a similar structure. It really is a similar structure, and the Leafs are giving up more, obviously. So, guys, if you had to make a prediction on the next move, I think the Leafs make only one more significant move, maybe a depth move past that. I did make the prediction that the Leafs will make two to three moves. So, one down, one or two more to go. But if you had to predict one move the Leafs are going to make that's actually realistic, no hot takes, actually realistic, the second move they'll make, is it for a forward or for a defenseman? And who do you have in mind? I want to see it in the comments because we'll read them out. I'm going to read them out here. Okay. So the Leafs traded for Ryan O'Reilly and Noel Acciari. I think they'll make one or two more moves, and chat's trying to put their answers in. I do think it's potentially another forward, but again, that depth defenseman that has that physical nature, whether it's a Luke Shen, to me, he's not just a depth defenseman, but other guys like that. I know Nick Seeler's been in trade rumors. I could see them making a trade like that. I know people are going to talk about like Susie or Gavrikov. I just think it's too pricey, especially Seattle's in a playoff race. Gavrikov, it's going to be too expensive. Sam Laverty, I think the Leafs will still talk to Chicago. There's too many guys there that fit what the Leafs are looking for, and you go down the list. Laverty, Domi, obviously the Kane to Toronto rumors have been there. You can talk about obviously Jake McCabe as well. So to me, the Leafs will keep talking to like Dubas will keep talking to teams. I think they're going to figure it out. To me, I think they'll go for a forward. Again, the Kane rumors will always be there, but I wonder if they call, again, going back to the Henrique conversation, but there's a couple guys there in Anaheim. I wonder if they call Anaheim. I wonder if they revisit, I mean, they've made trades with Arizona before. I wonder if they revisit talks there. And I'm not necessarily talking about Chicker and other guys, but Nashville, Tanner Jeannot, Jeremy Lauzon, if there's any possibility of Ekholm being available, I don't know if that's the best fit, but Ekholm would be pretty sweet on that defense. And Ekholm's seen playoff runs as well. So Nashville could be a team Toronto talks to. Tanner Jeannot would be a very good candidate to have on that third line potentially. So I know people are going to talk about Lawson Crouse. I don't think Arizona is trading Lawson Crouse. Any other teams? Yeah, I mean, maybe they look at a team like the Sharks still. And again, I'm not connecting them to Carlson or Meyer, but Bonino's a name I looked at. Past that, there's not too many other potential trade partners. I don't know if they would trade with Montreal. Ottawa would be a stretch, but maybe. The only other team I was actually thinking about, just in terms of the Metro, I don't like the idea of trading with Columbus or Philly, both of those teams, but I don't love the idea of trading with Columbus because of what happened last time. But Columbus or Philly, I wonder. And there was a rumor tying Scott Laughton to Toronto. I think that edge with Scott Laughton on a third line with O'Reilly, I think that would be perfect for the playoffs as well. So I know people are going to say, you always go for the big names. So we'll talk Arizona. People want to go straight to Chychrun, but there's other names there. We talk about San Jose. People want to go straight to Timo Meier and go straight to Erik Karlsson. Same thing if we talk about Philly. If we talk about the Flyers, people are going to talk about Konechny all day long. There's other guys there. There's a Scott Laughton. There's a Nick Seeler could be an option for Toronto. I've talked about that. So thank you, Scott, for being a subscriber. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new. Be a subscriber. Appreciate it. Yeah. Past that, as I said, guys, I really don't think the Leafs, it's hard to get a top six forward. It's not easy just to scoop him up. Henrique and Laughton for me are my favorites, I think. Just in terms of fit, they can make it work with moving Kerfoot and Engvall. Those are realistic. Sure, if you can get a Patty Kane and make it work, oh my God, that playoff experience. Combine Patrick Kane's resume with Ryan O'Reilly's resume. That's more playoff pedigree than the Leafs have seen in a very long time. So, yeah, I think we're going to keep talking about guys they can target. And I know there's going to be a defense conversation coming up again, especially with this Hall and Timmins debate right now. But I still do not like the framework of that third line potentially. O'Reilly puts them in a very good spot up the middle, but Engvall and Kerfoot do not move it enough for me on that third line. If Engvall's on the fourth line, as I said with Kampf, I'm fine with that. But I love the fit of Acciari, Kampf, and Aston Reese as the fourth line in the playoffs. Aston Reese is that playoff experience. Kampf is the perfect fourth line type player you want, and Acciari has that playoff experience as well, long runs. You want that attitude. You want that mentality. Your fourth line has that. Your third line has that with O'Reilly, but there needs to be more pieces there. And then obviously your top six is scaled enough. You need to match up. I mean, it's Tampa and Boston. There shouldn't be a surprise. So to me, yeah, depth is depth, but I don't know. We'll see, guys. This is a big risk for O'Reilly, but hopefully they make another move. Mike, I don't know who you're talking about, but no, Naughty. People out there believe the Blues can get at least second for Barbashev. I don't think they're going to make another move with the Blues. Hey, you never know, though. Brian, what's going on? Yeah, independent. I would say probably not Steve, maybe Holmberg. Jeez, Jeffrey. Strong hate in the chat. What's up, Brody? The 06 Canes picked up Doug Wade and Mark Recchi for the playoff run. J-Dub, I think the Hurricanes are going to make a splash. I think they're in on Meyer. I wouldn't be shocked if the Canes decided, hey, let's just go for Patty Kane for fun. But I think Patty Kane's in that situation where he's deciding on what he wants. But Don, O'Reilly's a minus 24 on a really bad, on a really bad, I would say, defensive team. Like, St. Louis defensively has been a mess this year. They've allowed, I have to check right now, but up until recently, the last, 3-4 games, they were looking like a tire fire. But, let's go to the standings for a second. I don't want to just say something blindly without looking. But as far as I remember, yeah, the Blues are minus 22 overall. So, I mean, only have what? Like, yeah, I mean, Calgary's only 6 points ahead of them. Extra game played, +4. So, I mean, St. Louis, that's been a major problem. And O'Reilly, as I said, he hasn't had the best year. That's why I have my, like, reservations about this. So that's why I feel a type of way about this. But, again, if O'Reilly can go to even 70% of what he was last year, the year before. Hey, LA Sports, 23 months. Love the trade. Will we retain O'Reilly and Acciari? So, yeah, if you're talking about cap, yes, they retained. It's down to 25% of his original cap. But also, yeah, I mean, if they can keep O'Reilly past this year, that's where the trade becomes maybe a big W for Toronto. Hey, guys, let's get 10 more likes for 250. Let's get it. Let's go. We're almost there. Noel Acciari has had some good playoff runs, most notably with Boston in 2019. Adam, I think Barbashev, I think there's a bunch of teams out there that will look at Barbashev. Tampa, Boston, Edmonton. But, yeah, again, guys, let us know if you're a new subscriber in the chat. Missouri says, I feel like the Leafs should have went for Monahan instead of Riley, but wish the best for Ryan. Well, we'll see. Okay, let's look at cap friendly. Chat wants to look at cap friendly. Let's do it. So just to give you guys the outlook here. Yeah, here we go. So as you guys can see, Ryan O'Reilly right here. UFA 1.875 right above my head there. 1.875 now, cap hit. As I said, guys, at 32 years old, if you can re-sign Ryan O'Reilly for like 2 or 3 more years, that could be huge for the Leafs. And Nola Char, as you see, is at the 1.25. So the Leafs, in terms of cap space here. Okay, ignore that. They essentially have to, like, they have the LTIR relief here, but they'll have to make a move if they want any flexibility. Because the only reason this deal is okay right now is because Matt Murray's on LTIR, as you guys can see. And as obviously we talked about, the Leafs can go down to a 20 roster, and I think they're at, is it 22 right now? Or oh, they're at 23. So the Leafs are at a 23 out of 23 roster size. Obviously, once they send like 2 or 3 contracts down, they'll take Matt Murray off LTIR, and then, yeah, I mean, they'll be fine because Muzzin is what, $5 million salary? Let's see. Yeah, 5.65. They'll be fine. So as long as, like, if they make a trade, sure, but they can just send 3 guys down, which I would make the assumption of it's probably going to be. Actually, they like just frig, man. I actually forgot about that. Joey Anderson would have to go through waivers now, so they'll probably send down. Man, that would suck if they lost Jordy Ben for nothing. Yeah, I mean, they'd have to send down Joey Anderson for sure. Joseph Wool would be one of them. Yeah, they'll probably have to lose Joey Anderson or Jordy Ben on waivers. I don't think they lose Jordy Ben, so it's probably Joey Anderson they lose on waivers. Or maybe he slips through the waivers. That'd be nice, but it doesn't usually work out for the Leafs. No, that's what I'm saying, Richard. They might just trade someone. But again, people know they don't have the most leverage in that situation, but you never know. Shalgren struggled a bit, Brian. Wolves played well. Yeah, Mark Smith. The Leafs are definitely going all in. A lot of UFAs. All right, guys. Last 5 minutes for me. Again, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the like. I'll drop another video tonight. But again, I hope you subscribe and look out for the videos dropping over the next few days. Yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy. But Clayton, thank you for subscribing. Big shout out to Clayton in the chat. Adam Gaudette, and Abramov's a decent prospect, but hasn't really produced heavily in the AHL. So another decent piece. JM. Wait, Jeremiah Sportsbeard, drop me, oh, JM, like Jeremiah? I guess that's what you're talking about, Sportsbeard. Shout out to Jeremiah, let's go. I thought you were talking about like a player or something. Do I see Quick getting traded? Probably not. Any idea when I might stream next? I might try to stream Sunday, actually. What do you guys think? Should I do a Leaf stream Sunday? That might be the vibe, do a Leaf stream on... Let's see. Yeah, but unless they... Is Matt Murray not coming back? I don't know. Like, now I'm seeing mixed reports. Like, is Matt Murray coming back soon? Let's see. Yeah, so that third round pick also was the third round pick they got from Ottawa in the Matt Murray trade, right? Wow, this is crazy, bro. I still can't believe it. All right. Let's get to 300 likes here at the end. All right, guys. Yeah, I hope you guys watch the videos as I post them. I really do appreciate it. It helps the channel a lot. And check out the live streams. I'll answer until 12:15. Jeez, Jeremiah, that's sweet. I want to get Kiprios on the podcast. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. But that's sweet that he DM'd you. That's really sick. 4 more minutes on the stream, and then I'm so tired. I'll drop the video, but hey, Wardy. Yeah, man, I'm so mixed. I love the addition, but it's a lot for a guy that we'll see hasn't had the best year on obviously a team that's had its issues, but thank you, Crystal, for the kind words. Yeah, we got to get Canuck Clay back on. Shampoo, I've had Canuck Clay on before. What's up, Jake? Yeah, Crystal, I'm going 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. I'll answer as many questions as I can on the way out. Again, guys, if you want more of my opinions, more rants, more reactions. Sorry, I went crazy on the video. If you guys watched, I went crazy for a good minute. I don't know why you're saying Leafs didn't give up much. To me, it's a straight out UFA. And as I said, if they extend him, then I have a different perspective on this trade. Well, that's what I'm saying, Third. I hope the Leafs go for another deal, and that's why I'm all in. I'm all okay with going all in, but go all in. Don't just make this deal and stop. It's got to be a secondary move to improve the offensive depth. Because, again, O'Reilly showed he can score in big moments in the playoffs, but I still think you need another guy there. I don't like Kerfoot and Engvall as the main wingers in your middle six or third line. But yeah, Simmons and Holmberg got sent down. Bobby, what's going on? Welcome if you're a new subscriber. Thank you guys again. Let us know if you're a new viewer or where you're watching from. State, province, if you want to just say country or town, you want to give your hometown a shout, drop it in the comments. And yeah, O'Reilly and Yarncrow as 2 of them on the third line. That'd be pretty decent, Colin. Yeah, have a good time, Julia. Hamilton, Ontario. There you go. BC represent. O'Reilly might be playing tomorrow, yeah. Connor, what's going on? Missouri, let's go. What's up, Bobby? There you go. Alaska represent. Quebec, Montreal. Adam in the house. Thanks for being in the chat, Adam. Alex, TL. Daniel, what's going on? Good old Cal. Van City, let's go, Sam. Bear, Oakville, represent. Let's go, guys. Sorry, I'm reading tweets, so I read that too. But all right, last minute of play on the live stream. But again, guys, I'm dropping 2 videos, so if you missed it, I feel like I covered a lot. But again, we might do an emergency podcast with Luke's tomorrow. We'll see. But definitely a lot to talk about. Well, that's what I'm saying, Colin. They got to get someone else in that third line, though, with O'Reilly. Crystal, you're going to subscribe. Let's go, guys. Everyone, let's show how we welcome new subscribers. Thank you so much, Crystal. Thank you so much for subscribing. What a legend. I really appreciate it. Let's go. Hey, guys. Hey, we've gained 50 subscribers. We're almost at 46,100 already, so I really appreciate that. Yeah, Don, I could see them still having conversations with those teams. Yeah. Hey, Independent, thank you so much for subscribing as well. I really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, I just want to see my phone before I head off, just to make sure. Because sometimes, guys, hey, if you haven't followed the channel before, sometimes I end live streams and then news comes out. So let's see. Yeah, some people have Ryan O'Reilly on the wing. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's the center in my opinion. But again, I still think there's a move to come, guys, because even as I said, Matt Murray's either out to the playoffs or they have another move up their sleeve. All right, Daniel. Bashing Tavares. Daniel, buddy, let's just put this in perspective for you. The Islanders won. I'm going to give the Islanders credit if they make the playoffs. But last year and this year, if they don't make it, I mean, sure, you can talk about not winning the playoffs, but if you don't make it to the playoffs, there's no conversation about winning in the playoffs. Sure, the Islanders, I'll give them tons of respect. They made 2 conference final appearances, but sure, congrats. We're talking about the now. We'll see what happens this year. Bronze, I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope to see you more in the chat. Appreciate the support. Brady, I would say I would still love Timo Meier. I think Meier would be the best fit for this team. But again, what do they have to give up? Are they at least giving up their 2024 first-round pick plus Nyes? Hey, Sportsbeard. Again, guys, go subscribe to Sportsbeard. Boo, welcome if you're a new subscriber. This is the place for the spicy takes. I think the Caps, if they get into that same situation as the Blues here, I think they might do that. Yeah, I think, Jeremiah, I'll say this because I saw it and I was talking to my friends about it. Ovechkin's father passed, if you guys didn't see that. So condolences to Ovechkin's family. I think, obviously the Caps need to respect Ovechkin's, obviously, time of grieving and getting through this. But just for his family, I wouldn't, if I'm Ovechkin and the Caps are not really in like a solidified spot here, I would just take time, personal time. And you know what, he's chasing a record, but sometimes things are bigger than that. So I wonder if Ovechkin, I don't know. To me, Ovi obviously breathes hockey, but I wonder what's going to happen there. So, thoughts with Ovechkin's family and with Ovi, because really sad. So, we'll see what happens with the Caps. Thanks, Bobby. Hot take Gudis to the Leafs. That'd be crazy. You'd love Domi on the Leafs? Fair. Hey, Rocha, it's a massive trade, man. It's a big risk, big get. I hope it works out. Hey, guys, 20 more likes to 300. That's when I'm going to end it. We got to get to 300 likes, and I'm ending it on a bang. Again, please hit that subscribe button if you're new. So let's get to 300 likes. I should have been off already. It's almost 12:30, and I'm going to go to sleep. Soros would be unreal. Daniel, the Leafs didn't have Tavares and they still lost. They still lost in the first round 2 years in a row. So, any rumors on the Canucks? I just dropped a video tonight on the Canucks. fan, go check it out. But there's still a good chance that Besser and Shen will get traded. Maybe a couple other pieces. Rainiel, how's it going? Okay, guys, if I haven't said hi to you yet or you haven't subscribed, drop a comment. I want to say bye to everyone. All right. Thank you guys for supporting the stream tonight. 10 more likes to 300. I know we'll get it on the way out. So say bye. Have a good night. I'm going to drop another video on my way out here. But I will see all of you guys super soon. Look out for the videos. Look out for the podcast. Big guest coming up. And on Sunday, I'm hoping to be live for the Leafs game. So look out for that live stream. Make sure beside where you subscribed, it's free. Hit that notification bell. And yeah. I mean, Daniel, yeah, bro. I mean, I was trying to go to 12:15. The stream's bumping. We got to get 10 more likes. I got to end on a bang. But yeah. Love you guys. I'm out. Daniel, Crystal, Tony, Nux fan, Independent, Diesel, Jew, Colin. Lots of love, guys. Have a great night. Ryan O'Reilly, Acciari to the Leafs. That's crazy. All right, look out for the videos and more streams. And look out for the podcast.